Hello everyone, how are you? It is Professor Jones, and I am here today to say you guys are doing a great job on the discussion board. I see a lot of people starting early, and some people have already responded to other people, and you're really getting a great head start. And that's so important, especially for informative and persuasive speaking. And today I just want to point out a few things, and then also talk to you a little bit about how do you set up your speeches so that one is informative and one is persuasive, and they don't cross paths. So here we go. First of all, I want to say great job to Randy and great job to Griffin, and thank you so much for letting me use you as a positive example today. They caught my eye because they were right next to each other and they both have done such a great job. And so I wanted to show you a couple things. So first of all, Randy has gone in and she has her 4 informative topics and she has her 3 persuasive topics. Now, if she wanted to, she could go in and she could maybe there's an article that she saw that she liked, or she could talk about why she likes these topics or why she thinks it's important to discuss them. I want you to make sure that you cover the prompt in the discussion board that I've given you, and then make it your own. So she's done a great job because she's met the requirement. She's gone in, she's got these great ideas for topics, and she just put them out there like, here's what I'm thinking, and now it's open for discussion. And then if you look at Griffin, he's gone in and he's really responded to her like he's talking to her. Hi, Randy. This is perfect because then that way you can keep track of who's talking to who on the discussion board. And he says, I really like your first topic. I have a dog and they do enhance my life, but I never really thought about why. So now we know we've got to take her on the assignment. Somebody in the audience thinks it's a good topic. So that's cool. Now she has some validation about that. Then he goes on to say, also, as much as I agree with your second topic about doing testing on animals, I think it would fall into the persuasive category, which he's right. But does that make her wrong for putting it? No, it makes it great that she was willing to go in early and put it up there, right? She's putting it out there and now we can talk about it. And so that's great. There's no right or wrong here. That's what the discussion board is about. We have this week to sort of flush it out. And he's done a great job by responding to her excellent topics and saying, hey, this is what I think. Then he goes on to talk about some information that a teacher in high school taught him. And so he's sharing his knowledge with her. So now she can take that and go, hey, let me think about that. And if you continue down, you can see that there's other people that have responded to her. So she's got this great head start on the discussion board, which allows people to respond. So she can be gathering all this information and really narrowing it down for herself. And that's important. Now, he does bring up a good point about this thing with testing animals. Now, you could make that an informative speech by just telling us the facts, but that's almost always a persuasive topic. So no problem. Now she knows. Okay, maybe I'll save that for persuasive. So let's talk about our first topic, which is positive effects of adopting a dog. So let's say that she wanted to do an informative speech about adopting a dog. So maybe she's going to give us a little overview of how did dogs get domesticated? Like, why do we love dogs so much? And she gives us some history of that. And maybe she's going to give us some stats on how much money is spent on dogs every year with their toys and their beds and their clothes and their food and everything else. And then she's going to tell us about how to adopt a dog. She's not going to tell us to go do it, but she's just going to say, hey, this is what goes into adopting a dog if you've ever wondered. So she's teaching us about it. It's 100% facts. Right? And she's giving us a well-rounded view. There are some downsides to adopting a dog. It can be expensive. You don't know for sure what the dog's going to be like. You don't always know what the breed is, etc. And she's going to give us that information too, because audiences like to hear something really well balanced. So she's just going to give us a 360-degree view of dogs, the history of their domestication, why we love them, and what you would do if you wanted to go adopt a dog. Okay, that's informative. If adopting a dog was going to be persuasive, it would sound something like this. We have a big problem. It's puppy mills. The solution is to adopt a dog. See what I mean? She's going to encourage us to go adopt a dog and never get anything from a puppy mill. She might even throw in, could you sign this petition to make puppy mills illegal? So she's giving us about 25% of an informative speech, and then 75% is all about getting us to take action or think differently or do something differently. See what I mean? So it's adopting a dog, but now I framed it as an informative speech, or I've framed it as a persuasive speech. And this is incredibly important. But really, these kind of discussions are awesome because it gives you something to think about. You're going to have to narrow down all these topics. They're huge. I want you to pick something you really like. Don't spend time doing something you don't like. That's no fun. That is no fun. Pick something that's got some oomph to it, right? You make it exciting. Now, you might give me an informative speech about adopting a dog, and because it's so great, I decide to go adopt a dog. But if your intention is just to teach me about it, it's not the same thing as really trying to engage my interest in going to take action by adopting a dog. See the difference? So when you're looking at your topics, think about that because that's going to come up. Okay? So that's just a quickie about these little issues. And I want to say thank you again to Randy and Griffin for letting me use your stuff. You guys will get emails from me all the time asking me if I can use you as an example. And don't feel pressured. If you don't want to, just tell me no. And if you're willing to, then great. Thank you so much. Okay? All right. Keep at it. I'll see you on the discussion board. Bye.